Hello, everybody. I am Mathieu Allo. I'm working for the European Investment Bank in the Energy Efficiency Division. And I welcome you, all of you, to the presentation of Oktave, which is called Turnkey Solution for the Energy Renovation of Private Residential Housing in France. Oktave is supported already for several years by the facility ELENA. It's a joint facility between the European Investment Bank and the European Commission, providing technical support to prepare investment projects in the area of energy efficiency, meaning energy efficiency in building, district heating, street lighting, as well as urban transport project. For this presentation, I'm very pleased to welcome Mathieu Flao, Director of Operations of Oktave, as well as Gabriel Quentin, Technical Manager in the Oktave company. Just as a small reminder, you can ask your question by writing them in the chat box, and we will answer, for the convenience of the presentation, we will answer them after the presentation. So thank you very much. And now, Mathieu and Gabriel, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Mathieu Flao, and I am the operational manager of Oktave. I've been working on the Oktave project for over 7 years now, and I'm with Gabriel Quentin, our technical manager.
Hello.
Who is as well part of the project for a long time now. We are very pleased to be able to present Oktave today, and we thank the conference organizer for providing us with the opportunity to do so. So our presentation will last about 30 minutes, and then we'll answer your questions. So let's start the presentation now. First, oops, sorry. I have to share my screen. It's okay. I propose a short presentation to set the context. So Oktave is a project created by the Grand Est region in 2014 as an experiment for conducting housing renovations. The Grand Est region, the one you can see red on the map, is a local authority and one of the 10 administrative regions in France, more or less equivalent to the German Länder or the Spanish autonomous community. The French regions are particularly responsible for territorial development and environment. And Oktave was designed as a one-stop shop for the energy renovation of housing. Oktave is there to provide citizens with appropriate answers to renovation issues. In 2018, Oktave became a semi-public company whose majority shareholder is the Grand Est region. The 3 private shareholders are 2 banks, whose one of them is public, and a real estate company. The commercial activity of Oktave really started mid-2019. And we are not the only one-stop shop in France, because we are one of the 7 third-party financing companies created by the French regions. So, as I said before, Oktave was created as a tool to respond to energy and climate issues related to housing. Housing in Grand Est is one of the most energy-intensive sectors. It represents nearly 40% of the energy consumption. Most of the residential stock was built before the 80s and is inefficient in terms of energy. Nearly 45% of housing have energy class E, F, or G, and only 10% of housing have energy class A or B. Finally, the last reason is to create Oktave is the necessity to comply with the commitments of the Paris Agreement and with several national laws and regional plans. These commitments require all housing to be renovated to a low consumption level by 2050, which represents in Grand Est nearly 45,000 housing units to be renovated per year. As I said before, the main goal of Oktave is to reduce energy consumption, but it's also to turn energy spending into renovation investments. You may ask, but what are the local benefits of renovation projects? First is the employment. In the building sector, it's estimated that 60,000 turnover usually generates one job. And second, economic dynamism. The energy renovation market is indeed a breeding ground for economic activity. Now, to embody the Oktave on the ground. The Oktave team currently has 26 people. Our organization is mainly decentralized, as you can see on the map. Our head office is based in Strasbourg, the red point on the map, and brings together general management and technical and financial support. Our renovation advisors are located throughout the region and are generally located in the premises of local authorities to be identified as a trusted third party. To mobilize local elected representatives, Oktave relies on two levels. First, the local economic benefits of the renovation projects. Second, our territorial organization. Many local authorities already implement financial incentive for the renovation of housing, and the services offered by Oktave complement this aid. And our decentralized organization makes that the advisors are immediately available at the local authorities. We offer different support services for different agencies, as you can see on the screen. Support for the renovation of single-family homes and condominiums, which is our main activity. Evaluation service for energy saving certificates for local authorities, and also training for building and real estate professionals. I will now give the floor to Gabriel, who will present you more specifically what we are doing for individual housing, which is our first mission.
So our goal is to propose a renovation that's all in one. So we start with a strong base of technical support, and we will help our clients find the right technical solutions for their buildings. And directly linked to that is all the administrative help and all the financial solutions that we can bring, and we see that a little bit after. Our technical support is first comprised of a visit. So during the visit, we will estimate the cost of the renovation, the energy consumption, so the baseline, and after that we will simulate the energy gain, of course. And the second part of the work, after the client signs a mission over to Oktave, is to get a firm price from the partner craftsmen, the companies that work with us. And once we have a final financial estimate of the project, then we will simulate how it will be possible to finance. Also, it's not only about energy, because a lot of clients come to us with a general home improvement question, and so we have to take into consideration also home improvement, sometimes home extensions, and in order to respond to the questions, to the problems of each family, of each situation. Then comes the part where we have to optimize all the different sources of financing. There's state grants, there's local grants, there's interest-free grants, and each come with their own sets of technical conditions, eligibility, and we will go back and forth between the financial and the technical to make sure the client gets the better situation possible. And in certain situations, we need to find a loan, a complementary loan to be able to balance the operation. And we work with banking partners and in some cases brokers in order to balance the whole operation. Funding optimization. So we have to go continuous all the time. We have to go back and forth between the technical project and the financial balancing to be sure that the best possible solution is chosen by our team for the client and for the building itself. Oktave is both in relation with the clients, is in relation with the companies, the technical the partners that are on land, and also the brokers and the state officials. We're a trusted third party for the clients, and we're here in order to make sure that everybody has the needed information at the right time to be able to anticipate as much as we can and be sure to avoid any bad surprises or avoid losing some financing because the technical criteria aren't met. Those things are very common without a company like Oktave. We build relationships between the different stakeholders, between the owners, the craftsmen, and of course we make all this information also go back up to the city councils and the different elected officials that welcome Oktave on their territory. In order to be trusted, we also have a flat rate pricing, and that does not rely on the cost of the renovation. Some architects have a system of percentage to get paid, and we chose a system of a flat rate to be transparent, and that contributes to reassuring everybody on the business, Oktave's business model. We work hand in hand with local authorities for our communication on top of our social media and what's internet pages and what's relatively intuitive. We rely on local communication and local newspapers, public newspapers, public print to get the word out on Oktave. When we install a partnership, there's Oktave hires somebody in place, and the communication has to follow us. A lot of people for the renovation don't want to ask for help and have trouble trusting, and also projects can be very long to follow through. So Oktave makes sure that we are somewhat neutral, and often people, homeowners, will get advice on technical solutions, but they suspect that, of course, the companies will put forth their own solutions, or the solution that they're most comfortable with, and they come to us for independent advice. And our first encounter, our first visit is free, and Mathieu will detail that in our process.
So you can see on the screen our pre-contractual phase. Would like to present to you now. It's very important for us to qualify the contact we have. So it's very, very important because it's a phase we need to build trust with the owners. So before signing a contract, the owners generally have first contact with our assistant with some simple questions to define the quality of the project. If it's a project for Oktave or for another, for someone else. Then, if it's a project for Oktave, the owners will have a telephone meeting with an advisor. These telephone meetings, it's useful to understand what is the project of the owners, what he wants to do in terms of energetical work, but also in terms of home improvement, and if we can help him. Then the advisor decides if he's going to make an on-site visit, and so if he decides to do it, he goes to the site to visit the home with the house with the owners, and then after this visit, he can give a financial and technical report of what the renovation project could be.
It's important for the homeowners to have the information of how much the project could cost. So we estimate that, and there's a certain degree of precision. We estimate also how much energy can be saved with these projects, with these renovation. Then we estimate also how much financial help we can get from the state, all put together. And then there's the baseline is that there's a certain number of euros per month that will be the general outcome. So we can imagine next year, once the work is done, that the family will have done this project and will have maybe 100 euros plus per month, maybe 150 euros plus per month, and that will cover the whole 70 or 60 or 80,000 euros of investment. But given the energy savings and the financial aid, all in all, it's only it's not so much per month, and that's the criteria that families look for in order to be able to decide if the project is viable or not. And I could say after now 5-6 years that almost nobody has the idea that it's possible to finance 50, 60, 70,000 euros of work, and that's what we carry. That's what we bring. Those arguments of saying, given the energy savings, giving all the financial help, if you do something that is more performant, that is more qualitative, and that has better energy savings, you will spend more in the work, but you will gain more in energy savings and in financial aid. And all that put together makes it possible for a family to finance that month after month. And of course, it is a big project. It is often more complicated than just changing your heater or changing your windows. And that's really what we carry with us, what we bring to the visits every day.
On this part of this, you can see it's free for the owners. And as I said, it's necessary to build trust in Oktave, but also for the owners in the capacity to manage an ambitious energetical renovation, as Gabriel said, that generally they haven't thought before. And they only contract with Oktave after that. Start directly the study phase of that project with the craftsman and the founder.
Yeah, once they sign the contract with us, Then we will describe the project technically, and then get the estimates from all the companies, and then we start the work of detailing. But that whole initial phase of putting the people in the right direction is always free.
It's very important.
That is important.
Finally, here are some Oktave balance sheet figures for the year 2020, the first full year of Oktave. For Oktave, so we have more than 20,000 incoming contacts. It was 500 in 2019. We did, I can see the numbers. We did 500 pre-contract technical visits. That is 5 times more than in 2019. And so we completed 54 efficient renovation projects. And we have 94 other projects signed and currently underway. So the start of 2021 is very encouraging for us because since May, we signed as many contracts as in 2020. So we're quite confident for the rest of the year.
We should almost double this year normally.
So we're finished. If we'd like to know more about third-party financing companies, we invite you to attend the presentation of the offer project, which will take place at 4 p.m. We are part also of this project. So thank you for your attention. We are also happy to try and answer to your question.
Thanks, Mathieu. Thanks, Gabriel. We have already some questions which shows up, and I think I will take the first one and the second one are a little bit the same actually. It's to know what is the cost of a service for the region, the public authority that is supporting you, and what is the cost for the homeowners, just to have a balance. Maybe if you can mention this cost per project, because it's more understandable.
The cost for the homeowners, it depends on so we have several levels. We can do the financial and administrative work of accompanying a project on its own, and that costs 1,500 euros. But for that price, we will not be taking care of anything technical. And at the other end, for somebody that's going to do a full, complete renovation, it will cost 6,000 euros, so 599. So it's in between. All the projects are in between that. And
for the region, it's sorry. And the cost of the service for the region is the region doesn't pay for the service.
There's no financial aid.
Well, the region is one of our shareholders, our main shareholders. So they put 1.5 million euros in Oktave to create the company, and now we have to find our business model to go on.
So the financial aid of the region was to create Oktave in the beginning, and now we have to find a balance in the coming years.
It's a service free for homeowners. It is financed solely by public money, so no, it's not free. It's not financed by public money.
That answers the other questions.
Yeah.
We have now some question about, I would say, from one part, the quality and actually the energy performance. Though, is there a guarantee for the achievement of the energy performance? And what happens if, for example, it's not met?
No, we don't have guaranteed performance. We have we put everything in order in terms of performance in the different installations. So we have a group of work that we realize. So every time we insulate a wall, we have a specific level of performance to realize. And we know that when we respect this this performance on the roof, on the windows, for the ventilation, and for the walls and the downstairs, we know that the energy consumption generally is divided by 4, 5, and sometimes even 6. We don't have a specific guarantee, but for each project we simulate the gains, and that's our general goal. So when we do a visit, we always simulate with the homeowners what needs to be done in order for the region to attain the goal, the climate goals. So dividing by 5 energy consumptions of individual homes and condominiums. But then each homeowner has their own project and has their own financial capability. So we try to orient them on what's the most performing, but it's not always possible. So sometimes we have to make compromises, and in order to be accompanied by Oktave, and it's just common sense, we set ourselves our internal rules where we have to insulate 2 walls, so roof, wall, windows, or basement. Those are the 4 walls, and external walls, and a ventilation. So if a homeowner wants to do anything less of 2 walls and a ventilation, we judge that it's not really interesting or even pertinent for the homeowners to hire Oktave for a coordination, and they can just consult by themselves a company for a quote. Yeah. Yeah. In Alsace, the region had before Oktave, they had a project that renovated 500 houses at low consumption houses, and from these 500 projects, we were able to extract rules that we now apply with Oktave, and that gives us a pretty solid base on which we have those technical specifications. So we have a minimum technical specifications and not an energy guarantee, but we do energy simulations.
Okay, thank you. A question that was asked, the third question was actually about what conversion rate do you need in order to be able to cover the preparatory cost for the reports? So we have understood that your initial stage is free for the homeowners.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you have to compensate these costs which are real for you with right. So what are the main metrics that you need to be profitable?
We don't really have, it's not how we defined our business model. There's more of an equilibrium between how many salaries, how many employees we have, and how many projects they're capable of managing. So the cost of visits has an impact, but right now we estimated that each employee has to follow approximately 20 renovations per year to be at an approximate balance. Mm-hmm. And right now our statistics we're always working to make them better. When we have a phone call, and from our phone call, we have about 75% that are errors or that are not projects for Oktave. So 25% gets transmitted to our technical staff, and the technical staff, you remember the slide, they have about half an hour phone call to evaluate the degree of maturity of the project, and if the homeowner is really serious. And there's so they go into detail, and they give a certain level of information by phone. And from this interview on the phone, what's the current numbers? I was going to say half, but
yeah,
it's about half. So from this 25%, we're down to about 12.5, about half.
and to have visit.
Yeah, it turns into a visit. And then from this visit, I would say it's about half of the visits, maybe a little bit less, maybe it depends. It's about 25% that turns into a contract.
But it's difficult to say because they don't sign immediately with Oktave. People, they can call us 1 year after because they think about the project, and so they decide to call Oktave again to start.
Some people have called us 3 years down the line because, I don't know, their grandparents now passed away and they inherit the house, and
so the personal situation changed.
The statistics, if you measure on 1 month, are pretty bad, but if you measure on 3 months, they become better, and if you measure on 12 months or 24 months, they get much better. So it's hard to answer the question with a simple answer. Is my answer.
Yeah, thanks. It's already pretty clear. Yeah, there was as well a question about kind of it's more about your selling and maybe communication. So the question was, what was your unique selling point to homeowners, or your really how you attract to get this first phone call?
Well, we have our usual internet AdWords referencing, etc. So anybody that's on the market to buy a house will most likely, if they're in the age group, get Oktave ad, because we know that when you buy a house that you're more likely to do an important renovation. And if you're looking for energy savings, all the keywords, etc. So mainly AdWords. And for example, Thursday we're doing a Facebook Live. That helps the companies that are partners with us, the partners that give us quotes. They relay our information, and the local authorities also relay this information. So that's a source of communication. But our selling point is that we are independent. So we have nothing to sell. We do have our contracts we do have to live our life, and we have to. We are. I don't know how to say. We're paid. We have to get paid. There we go. We do have to get paid, but we are created by the region, and we are independent. We're independent from contractors. We're independent from material producers, from industries. We're independent from energy providers. So today there's a lot of communication going around in the media. This energy renovation, energy performance is very present in the media, and people are reassured by the fact that we were created by the region, and that we're independent, and also our technical staff aren't technical commercial people. They're not there only to sell. The people that do the visits give the technical solutions, and they're also the people that will see the work through until completion. And to have the same person that will be from the beginning there until the end, and that will act as a contractor to coordinate all the different companies on the work site in the home of the people, is something that really reassures the people. So that's more on the technical answer. But there's also a second point that's important, is that the region now acted the fact that they're gonna create pre-financing for all the state aid. So the state has a lot of aid, but in order to get the aid, you need to complete the work and have the final bill from the companies to justify that you did the work. So each homeowner has to finance this aid, And if when they have 50, 60, 70,000 work to be done, that can come up to a lot of money, and that sometimes is a problem. So what we can do now with Oktave is we can give the people the aid that they will get in 12, 18 months when they sign the contracts in the beginning, and or a couple of months after the beginning. So that enables and that reassures the people, the homeowners, to go with us, and that's something that's new on the market, and nobody else can provide that financial services.
Yeah, that's very interesting, because actually that was, well, maybe we have some time for a very last question. There was a question: does your turnkey solution include financing? I had understood that you partner actually with some bank for the financing, but at the same time you're able to pre-financing. So can you just clarify how you work with that?
Yes, we do not do loans. So if the homeowner has to have a loan or a long-term loan, they have to go through their bank, or we have partner banks. One bank is part of our shareholders, and so there's different kinds of loans. Some are eco loans with zero fees, and some are paying loans. And so that part is resolved with our financial partners. And and for all the state help and the energy certificates, the white credits, we can also pre-finance those, and that is all internal. Okay, that's a key part. Some projects, some ambitious projects, will totalize more than 30 or 40,000 euros of white credits. For example, when you buy a vacant house that has been vacant for 20 years, well, the baseline is very low, and we renovate everything. And so the energy credits are phenomenal. It's a real opportunity, decisive.
Okay. So, gentlemen, thank you very much. I hope our listeners can get a much clearer picture. I see that you provided your contact details if they have more questions, if they need more information. Just for information, the next presentation starting at 4 is actually about Oktave, that you mentioned, in which you're part in. So, so if you want to continue on this topic, just stay on this channel. And so, thank you very much, Mathieu. Thank you very much, Gabriel. And so, have a nice afternoon. Thanks.